Yes, now family, I'm all welcome back to another video on Jazza TV. Just finished a good run here in Marbella. I don't know where I am, whereabouts I am, but lovely scenery. Nice little boardwalk goes along for a good few miles. So yeah, good little jog in there tonight. Tonight's topic, we're going to talk about things I could have got right or mistakes that I made turning professional. I think this is a good one because it's important for the young fellas who are going to turn professional. If you can learn from my mistakes, great, that's what the channel is all about. So yeah, the first one that we're going to go into is turning professional very young, because when I turned over, I'd had six senior fights. I turned a senior at the age of 18, went in the ABAs, 19, spoke about this before, but 6 senior fights, it's not a lot, you know. I've done really well. I got confidence was high because I've done really well, but I didn't box for England once, didn't box for Great Britain once. I was on a Great Britain team. I'd actually qualified for the Tri Nations, and you qualify for, you win the Tri Nations, then you go to the European Championships and stuff like that. But I didn't even wait around. I just turned professional, said I'm going pro, and that's my path, and I don't regret it. But if I could stay a little bit longer, I'd probably wait a little bit longer. And only not long after that, they had the WSB, which was then like I would call that semi-professional fights, but it was against the top lads in the world. That would have been a great experience. That was like pro and amateur, so I'd probably stayed a little bit longer and enjoyed that time as a WSB fighter if I got a chance to do that. So yeah, that would have been a nice experience. What else would I have done in that sense? Yeah, just got a bit more strength, a bit more man strength. So I was boxing for a few years, and I hadn't had my man strength until I was fighting for professional 10-round belts, 12-round belts as a professional fighter, without no man strength. So just get some good experience under your belt as an amateur, and then turn professional when you feel right, when you feel strong. But it's important to have good people around you who understand this, because you just feel stronger than you did yesterday, and that's just the way it is when you're growing up, you know. But you look at it like, I've been professional 14 years, as I say a lot on the channel, 14 years now, and 5 of them years should have been probably spent as an amateur. But I was fighting for British titles and won a British title within that time, so don't regret it at all. I just had my senior experience as a professional. Second one here is S&C. S&C is a big part of professional boxing, not so much amateur, because you can get by on speed as an amateur. You've got big massive gloves on, you've got big head guards on. And when I was, most of my amateur career, juniors, I only had a few senior fights which was 3-minute rounds. Most of them fights was 2-minute rounds, 4 2-minute rounds. So I would say get some strength and conditioning in there. I was professional for a good few years actually. It was I lost for a British title before I started doing strength and conditioning. So yeah, make sure you start from the start, strength and conditioning, get a good S&C coach, someone who knows what they're on about, because you do see a lot of blaggers who are like implementing mad ideas and they've never boxed, so they're working on muscles that it doesn't quite work, you know, because they're working on muscles and they're gaining muscle, and maybe like they got you doing some certain exercises where you're going to gain muscles where you don't need that strength, you know what I mean? You'll need that strength in terms of punching power and delivering and transferring your weight from your legs through your rotation, and obviously through your arms and stuff like that. But a lot of fighters have just fucking got you doing curls. A lot of S&C people will have you doing curls and stuff like that, just gaining mass, looking great, all the abs and all that, but it's not quite what a fighter needs. A fighter and an athlete, they can sometimes be two different things. They can benefit each other, but muscle mass, where muscle mass is needed, is most important, because you got to remember, you got to be efficient with your weight, and it's a weight making sport, so you've got to cram a lot. You've got to cram all your muscle into a certain weight limit. So yeah, be careful around that one. Make sure you get your S&C done from the start, but make sure you get someone who knows what they're talking about too. Number 3, possibly the most important one on the list, make sure you get someone an experienced team, someone who's been where you want to go, someone who can guide you to be where you want to be, and that is very, very important. I don't need to go on about that one too much, but yeah, so important. I turned professional with a team who were just turning professional, you know, and it was some of the best days of my life. You had a great time. Don't regret it at all, because it was good enough to carry on and go on. But there's a lot of things that if someone had been there before and they could have guided me in a way that they didn't learn their mistakes on me, so to speak. So yeah, find a team who, that's not me having a dig at anyone, it's just common sense. Everyone's got to learn somewhere, so make sure someone who you turn professional has already learned their mistakes on somebody else. Very cutthroat, very, very, very harsh way of saying it, but make sure you get someone with some experience. And what you see a lot these days, which I don't agree with, is nowadays coaches just skipping the full process of like 10 years as an amateur coach, putting the work in for all them years, and then they turn professional, and they can't get good. Like, fighters won't go to them because they might think they're a bit too old, or they can't hold the pads, and there's some flash little fuckers holding the pads, looks great on the pads, never coached anyone in his life. And there's a big difference between a pad man and a coach, so give them coaches the respect that they deserve and hear them out. You know, the best coach I've ever had, probably not the best coach I've ever had in terms of technicalities. I was a great coach, Peter Taylor, fantastic, brilliant coach. And I also had Georgie Vaughan. Georgie Vaughan couldn't even hold the pads. Jerry held the pads for Georgie. So yeah, it was a fantastic run we had with Georgie and Peter. Peter's a fantastic coach, by the way. Yeah, I'm not saying that he weren't the best, most technical, but Georgie didn't do technicalities, but Georgie just got me in, like, from the inside, and it just clicked. We bonded well, and I'd run through walls with George because George was so good on the mental side of it. So there's a lot more to a coach than just holding pads. So yeah, find someone who's a good person as well, like George and Peter. So yeah, that's important. Make sure you have a good look around before you do turn professional. Number 4 is the diet. The diet is so important, and training isn't the best way to it's not a great tool, training, for keeping on top of your weight. Training and keeping on top of your weight, the two different things. The weight is done on the plate. The diet, supplements. Now, when I turned professional, I was of that mindset. Joe Lewis didn't take nutrition, you know what I mean? So Joe Lewis didn't do social media, all that bollocks. But if Joe Lewis was around today, he'd definitely be doing all them things. He'd definitely be on all the best supplements. He'd be on the best. He'd have a social media team. He'd have all that things around him. So yeah, make sure that you believe that diet is so important. Diet will enable you to be a better fighter. Diet will make you sleep better, wake up better, feeling better. Now, you can get away with it when you're young, but you do get to a certain age, and you've got to dial all them little things in, and they're not just going to change when you get to 30. You have to be in the routine of doing these things. Now, I would say you've got to do these from a kid. You've got to teach your kids to do these things, but not everyone does that too. We're not all perfect. We do like to eat nice food and stuff like that, but get it dialed in as a kid, so you don't have to make them changes when you're older. And it's just normal, it's not hard. So yeah, I struggled for years with the diet. Didn't believe it was a real thing. I thought I was just saying that outwork a bad diet. But yeah, make sure you get that dialed in. It'll put you in good stead. And the last one, which is it's linked to the diet in a way, well, it was for me, but overtraining is a real thing. I didn't believe in that either. I just thought the harder you train, the better, and I fucked myself up sometimes with overtraining. Decided not to swear in this video, but yeah, overtraining is a massive one. So like a lot of fighters, you can be in the wrong weight class, but overtraining because you're overeating. You've got to train a little bit more because you're eating too much, and then overtraining. When you get into a fight and you're boxing, it's very hard because it's like you're underwater. You're timing and your vision there. When you're overtrained, you're better being undertrained and not as fit than being overtrained. So yeah, please don't overtrain. If you're overtrained and you get into a fight, you're live on the telly, you're fighting, you can't quite do what you want to do. it's a hard place to be. So yeah, overtraining is a real thing. Day 5, mistakes of many, by the way, that I have learned throughout my years, throughout my time so far as a professional fighter. And I hope that you don't go on to make the same mistakes. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you for watching.